Okay, we set aside this time for brief announcements that will be of interest to our community and friends. Please be succinct when announcing upcoming events or updates. If you have an announcement, please raise your hand when Julia or I call on you. Come up to the podium or unmute yourself, then speak. Okay, we got some announcements. Okay, Kat, you first hand up. Then Steve, then Kelly.
Thank you all for donating clothing. I'm still collecting. I'll take anything you got, summer, winter, spring or fall, and I'll go through it myself and I'll pick it up, whatever it takes. Thank you. For men and women, anything you got.
Do we drop it at your house?
You can.
Okay.
You can drop it at my house. Or I can. There is a place for children's clothing. Yeah. Thank you.
Steve?
Hi. Please join us, if you will, on Tuesdays and Thursdays for, we'll call it protesting because it's what it is, at noon at Main and Burton. I knew that. And also on Fridays at 3 p.m. at Main and Cambria Drive. Showing up is a raw form of democracy. And just showing up is really what you can do there fairly easily. Sometimes it takes courage, and courage is contagious. It is, and that's why more and more people. So the more people that show up, the more people will come. Thank you.
I like what Steve said. I'm going to try to be succinct. Please join us. This would be in 2 Saturdays here. And this is a group called, it's a training sponsored by Cambria Indivisible, which some of you may have heard of, which is very active here. Yeah, and this training is to help support and defend our community here, all members. You can't hear me? Okay, how about if I do this? There will be a training here in 2 Saturdays sponsored by Cambria Indivisible. It will be presented by a group called 805 Undocufund, which was formed in 2018 in response to the Thomas Fire and has been very active since. And this is a training in ways that members of the Cambria community can help other members in staying and feeling safe. It could be something like helping provide rides, doing grocery shopping, that kind of thing. And there's a whole range of things, but this will be tailored to our town. I've been to the training in Santa Maria, where there's an ICE office. I've been to the training in SLO, which is also a different community and how things are going there. So this will be tailored here. There may be another training later in Spanish. So this one will be Saturday, September 20, from 1 to 3 p.m. here. There will not be a Zoom aspect of it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. The young man who does the training is 17 years old. His name is Cesar, and he is amazing.
So that's here in our
Here,
sanctuary.
and that is here. Thank you.
You said there's 1 or 2 days?
It is 1 day, the 20th.
And it starts at 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock, 2 hours, 1 o'clock till 3. Hopefully someone will be here next week also to announce this. And it's on the calendar.
Will be.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Diane?
We have a women's group meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So if anyone would like to join us, talk to me or Dolores.
Julia?
Yes, Anita has an announcement on Zoom.
Yes.
Anita, whoops. Anita,
do,
please
yeah.
unmute yourself and announce.
Yes, good morning, everybody. The 20th of September, seems to be an important day. I have 2 to 3 tickets for the Santa Barbara Ball for a concert of John Baptiste. And if you're interested in, please give me a call. Vincent Napoli send you all an email regarding the concert and what's involved. Okay, thank you. Have a good Sunday.
That's it on Zoom. Back to you.
Next week, Maria Rao will read Odd Arrangements and Funny Solutions by Helen Cohen. So let's take a moment to still our hearts, quiet our minds, and center ourselves. Those who are selfless rejoice here and rejoice there. They rejoice everywhere they go. They rejoice and delight in the good they have done. The Buddha. Ted will light the chalice here in the sanctuary. Those of you at home are invited to light your own chalice now. As we light this chalice, we kindle the spirit of the great turning, the movement for justice alive in this nation today. May we feel it in our bones and in the stillness of this hour. May we sense it calling our name. Before we sing the first hymn, let me remind you, wait a minute, where's the birthday thing? Oh, over here, okay. Let me remind our remote participants to leave yourselves muted. However, we want you and whoever is with you to sing as big and loud as you like. Make it a joyous experience. Please stand in body or spirit and sing the opening hymn, Sing Out Praises for the Journey, number 295.
Deep yearning.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist community of Cambria. We're glad you joined us today. Our UUCC sanctuary sits on land that the Salinan and Chumash indigenous peoples historically inhabited. We honor their contribution to this region and give thanks for their opportunity to gather in faith on their unceded territory. Let us respect their legacy and protect their history as we occupy this sacred space. As Unitarian Universalists, we celebrate religious diversity and welcome all who journey in search of faith and spirituality. The UUCC is a lay-led congregation run by the democratic process. Imagine that. We invite speakers from different religious traditions and spiritual or scientific backgrounds, as well as community leaders, to speak at our pulpit. We encourage presentations covering a variety of topics and areas of interest that connect with the UU 7 principles and 6 values, which are equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, justice, and interdependence with love at the center. Today's service centers around the 4th principle. We affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. My name is Dolores Miera, and I am your worship associate for this morning's service.
Hi, Dolores.
Pretty bad, huh? Yeah, okay. I would like to extend a special welcome to today's guests and visitors. We're glad you've joined us this morning. And if you wish, please introduce yourself or your guest. Manuela, hello. Hi. Are you local? Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So are we. If you're not on the mailing list, please visit the UUC website at uuccambria.org so that we can keep you informed about all of our activities. Members and friends, please check out what's happening. The e-blast sent to you every week. This is a great way to keep up to date with our latest news. To see this or any of the past Zoom services, the recordings can be found on the UUCC website. Oh, I just want to take a survey. How many of you have been on the website to look at a past service? Just raise your hand. Oh, look, okay. Oh, good. Okay, great, excellent.
I can't, but it doesn't, I'll talk to you later.
Oh. What?
There was a problem for me, I couldn't get it.
Oh, okay, good, yeah, talk to me, okay. So again, good morning and welcome to everyone. The affirmation is both a recognition of the nature of this community as well as a promise to which we aspire. Let us now recite the affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth and freedom, and to help one another. Okay, well, we take this time now to celebrate all those who are having a birthday this month. So birthdays are special, a day when we celebrate your entry into the world and honor your existence. If you have a birthday this month, please raise your hand. When Julia or I call on you, please reveal your special date. Kat? 23rd. Okay. Any others? Okay, so what, party at your house? Okay. This birthday candle honors all our friends and family members who are also celebrating birthdays this month. Oh, I think Janet's is the 25th, Janet Cooper's. So we'll throw her in since she's online here somewhere, right? Joys and concerns is a time for sharing. If you wish, you may come forward and briefly express a personal celebration, sorrow, reflection, or gratitude. She was an American spiritual teacher, mystic, pacifist, vegetarian activist, and peace activist. Starting on January 1st, 1953, in Pasadena, California, she adopted the name Peace Pilgrim and walked across the United States for 28 years, speaking with others about peace. A transcript of a conversation with Peace Pilgrim from a 1964 radio broadcast was published as Steps Toward Inner Peace. She stopped counting miles in that year, having walked more than 25,000 miles for peace. The following reading is an excerpt from that broadcast called The Most Valuable Things. After a wonderful sojourn in the wilderness, I walked again alone the streets of a city which was my home a while. It is 1 p.m. Hundreds of neatly dressed human beings with pale or painted faces are hurrying in rather orderly lines and to form their places of employment and from their places of employment. I, in my faded shirt and well-worn slacks, walk among them. The rubber soles of my soft canvas shoes move noiselessly along beside the clatter of trim, tight shoes with high heels. In the poorer sections, I am tolerated. In the wealthier sections, some glances seem a bit startled and some are disdainful. On both sides of us, as we walk, are displayed the things which we can buy if we are willing to stay in the orderly lines day after day, year after year. Some of the things are more or less useful. Many are utter trash. Some have a claim to beauty. Many are garishly ugly. Thousands of things are displayed, and yet the most valuable things are missing. Freedom is not displayed, nor health, nor happiness, nor peace of mind. To obtain these, my friends, you too may need to escape from the orderly lines and risk being looked upon disdainfully. Let us join in a time of meditation, of prayer, and of silence. Let us seek the quiet and the calm, laying aside our struggles. And in the silence, may there be a reverence in our hearts, a thankfulness within our spirit, and a deepened understanding of the meaning of our lives. Let us enter the stillness. May today there be peace within. May you trust your highest power that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith. May you use those gifts that you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. Let this presence settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing and dance. It is there for each and every one of you. May it be so. The second reading is an excerpt from Peace Pilgrim's Progress newsletters. The 4 relinquishments. Number 1, relinquishment of self-will. You have, or it has though you have two selves, the lower self that usually governs you selfishly, and the higher self which stands ready to use you gloriously. You must subordinate to the lower self by refraining from doing the not good things that you are motivated toward, not suppressing them, but transforming them so that the higher self can take over your life. Number 2, relinquishment of the feeling of separateness. All of us, all over the world, are cells in the body of humanity. You are not separate from your fellow humans, and you cannot find harmony for yourself alone. You can only find harmony when you realize the oneness of all and work for the good of all. Number 3, relinquishment of attachments. Only when you have relinquished all attachments can you be really free. Material things are here for you for use, and anything you cannot relinquish when it has outlived its usefulness possesses you. You can only live in harmony with your fellow humans if you have no feeling that you possess them, and therefore do not try to run their lives. Number 4, relinquishment of all negative feelings. Work on relinquishing negative feelings. If you live in the present moment, which is really the only moment you have to live, you will be less apt to worry. If you realize that those who do mean things are psychologically ill, your feelings of anger will turn to feelings of pity. If you recognize that all of your inner hurts are caused by your own wrong actions, or your own wrong reactions, or your own wrong inaction, then you will stop hurting yourself. Please stand, in body or spirit, and sing "When Our Heart is in a Holy Place," number 1008.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes. When our heart is in a holy place, a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of the heart stirs within, and we feel
Today's talk is titled Wandering Pilgrimage by Susan Maginn, to be read by Margot Biggs. Margot.
I've always had a fantasy about going to the airport with just the clothes on my back, my ID, a credit card, and a toothbrush. I go through the revolving door, walk up to the counter and look up at the day's flight schedule as if I were looking at the menu in a coffee shop. But instead of choosing coffee, I'm choosing a destination. Will it be Asia, Europe, South America, Africa? What if today's service ended that way? We would each be given an all-expense paid trip to the pilgrimage site of your choice. And in the church parking lot, there would be an airport shuttle. Have you ever thought of going on a pilgrimage? Where would you go? I know Jews and Christians who have been on pilgrimages to Jerusalem, Zen Buddhists who have gone to Japan, pagans who have gone to Greece. I knew a Catholic nun who was retiring from her many years in chaplaincy and celebrated her retirement by walking the El Camino de Santiago in Spain. There are regular Unitarian Universalist pilgrimages to Transylvania to see our Unitarian cousins. UUs travel through the Deep South to see where the Civil Rights Movement began, as well as to Boston to see the roots of Unitarian history in our country. But pilgrimages are not always about religious roots. Bill Sinkford, the former UUA president, and other UUs went to Africa to see where millions of the strongest Africans, possibly their ancestors, were gathered and held captive before being put like cargo on the Middle Passage. I've met people who are walking the Pacific Crest Trail, which begins in Mexico and follows the Sierra and Cascade mountain ranges all the way to Canada. I've heard stories of Vietnam veterans still haunted by traumatic memories of war who have returned to Vietnam decades later, and throughout their travels, they find some peace and some closure. My friend is from Cuba, and when he was visiting recently, he went to St. Lazarus Church, where thousands of people go for healing. He had his braid cut, which was 10 years long, and brought it as an offering to honor his grateful celebration for how his wife had finished her cancer treatment and returning to life with a renewed vitality. What I imagine all of these trips have in common is the intention of stepping away from the daily routines of ordinary time and space by going on a trip, but the trip is not a vacation. A vacation helps us to let go of our familiar lives, giving us a sense of perspective, novelty, respite, and renewal. While a pilgrimage is really a spiritual practice, yes, stepping away from our present, but with the intention of touching the truth of the past while rededicating our future toward a holy purpose. As you wonder about what kind of pilgrimage you'll go on today, you might want to consider, but what does a pilgrimage really mean for a Unitarian Universalist? After all, we find holy in so much. We Unitarian Universalists are wandering pilgrims. There is no Mecca for us to face during prayer. There is no one single shrine that we approach with our bodies bent in prayer. There is no spit of land that is sacred above all others. There is no holiest of holies. We Unitarian Universalists are funny people. We find a strange comfort in the uncertainty of never knowing where the holy might show up. Could it be in the ancient scriptures, or could it be in contemporary poetry or blog posts? Just as the prophetic words are not limited to one book, holiness is not limited to one building. Yes, the holy can be experienced in dedicated monuments, historic sites, national parks, but it can just as likely be found in our backyard or in the alley behind the apartment building. So if the holy can show up when and where you least expect it, then what makes one place more holy than the other? What makes one place more worthy of a pilgrimage than another? For some people, a place is made holy by the historical significance or the religious tradition of a place. Perhaps this site was built by architects and artists who had the intention of creating holy space, and perhaps over time, thousands, perhaps even millions of people have visited this site with reverence. For such pilgrims, holiness could be inspired by a sense that you are not alone. You are standing toward the end of a long line that reaches back through many, many years, many centuries even. And as you settle into such a space, you may realize that holiness is not innately present in a building, a city, or even an entire area of land. Holiness is in the eye of the beholder. One person's pilgrimage site is another person's sightseeing. Going to Transylvania will be a very different experience for Unitarians than it will be for Hindus. Going to Jerusalem will be very different for Christians than it will be for Buddhists. But one thing is clear. If it is a true pilgrimage, then your love for life will be affirmed in this place. The ground is made holy wherever the ground of your being is made whole. I think the closest I have ever come to a pilgrimage was when I was 20 years old and I went to Europe by myself. I wanted to see Anne Frank's house. I did a lot of performing as a child, teenager, and young adult. I happened to play the part of Anne Frank in 2 different productions, once when I was 14 and then again when I was 16. I had thoroughly researched the secret annex where Anne's family and friends were hiding. I imagined the dimensions of every room and what it was to be a child who did not go outside for over 2 years. I took it as a sacred duty when I was charged with embodying her and speaking her words. So when I was there, no longer imagining the place from an ocean away, but slowly stepping through the rooms where Anne and her friends and family lived and were arrested, and then when I walked through a concentration camp, it made something that had long since been imaginary very real. It made something that had been in parts whole and complete. As I walked through these spaces at 20 years old, of course I was honoring Anne Frank's life and death, but I was also honoring the gift of my own life. I had already outgrown Anne by 4 years. I was transitioning into adulthood as she could not. I realized I came to Europe to say goodbye to this loyal, imaginary friend of mine who had much to teach me about being a teenager, but she could not walk with me through the gates of adulthood. And as I tried to say goodbye to her, I realized how I could not let her go, even if I wanted to. Her spirit had changed my own. She had accompanied me through so many of my formative years and would be forever woven into the ground of my being. She taught me how to take up the brokenness of my youth and reforge the wholeness of my emerging adulthood. Perhaps this piece about brokenness and wholeness is an important one to consider before we choose our pilgrimage. Are we going on a pilgrimage as someone who is broken, seeking wholeness? Or do we go as someone who is whole, seeking to bless a broken world? One of my dearest friends, Elizabeth Russell, embarked on such a pilgrimage. The project was called Gaia's Witness. She and a group of women traveled the toxic sites in the western United States. They went to acknowledge the broken vows between humanity and earth. They went as human ambassadors of beauty to these traumatized corners of the earth to bear witness and deliver a blessing. I'm also reminded of the renowned peace pilgrim who has been called a 20th century Francis of Assisi. She took the following vow in 1953, quote, "To remain a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace, walking until given shelter, and fasting until given food." She traveled without any money and without aligning with any particular organization. Peace Pilgrim walked over 25,000 miles throughout North America, beginning in 1953 and ending when she died in 1981. She walked to share her simple message for complete disarmament for each person and for each nation. I'll go to Yosemite for the first time in May. I want to be with the giant sequoias. These 300-foot, seemingly indomitable, ancient beings have weathered hundreds of years of storms and fires. But in recent years, scientists have started to climb the trees for the first time so that they can test the treetops for signs of stress due to climate change. The trees might not be getting enough water. They each absorb 1 ton of water every day. As I walk in their giant shadow, I imagine that I'll offer a blessing and whisper, "All things are impermanent," as the ancient Buddhist teaching goes. All things are impermanent. They arise and they pass away. The trees, me, all beings, we arise and we pass away. I'll bless the trees. Perhaps no one else, not even my whole family, will know I'm doing it. I'll probably sing my blessing as I usually do. It would just be me and the trees and my faith in a force that witnesses, that receives my blessings and blesses me in return. Maybe I'll be blessed with an echoing in my soul of what it means to speak for the trees, for they have no tongues. My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real through far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? We Unitarian Universalists are people of the wandering pilgrimage. We wander in the ways of love as best we know them today, wandering toward wholeness, healing, and transformation, becoming our deepest and truest selves together, knowing we will stumble along the way and we will restore one another. So, the shuttle is leaving after coffee hour. Where are you going? What would be the embodiment of your spiritual journey? Would you come broken, seeking wholeness? Would you come whole, ready to give a blessing? Whether or not we ever plan a grand trip to faraway land, why not live each day as if we are all on a wandering pilgrimage right now? Because we are. Any day can be a day of relishing the triumphs of this soul. And our greatest pilgrimage sites might be much closer than we know.
Thank you, Margot. That was really nice. The morning offering will now be given and received. Please remember, we are a self-sustaining congregation and provide all financial resources for our many ministries. We recognize the spiritual value of generosity and invite you to participate. If you're viewing this service remotely, please use one of the methods shown on the screen. Thank you. Our thanks for all gifts given and received for the work of this community. Please stand, in body or spirit, and sing the closing hymn. How Can I Keep from Singing? Number 108.
My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real
As we prepare to extinguish the chalice, let us recite the valediction. We extinguish this flame, but we keep its light in our hearts with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world we live in. Please extinguish your chalice at home now. Now, let's form a circle. Oh, I guess I better extinguish it. Goodbye to the birthdays. Okay, now let's form a circle.
Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing?